introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Minnesota Vikings. Hello again, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn. And, partner, I think we can safely sum up the goal this final week of the preseason with 3 simple words. Don't get hurt.
And make sure you follow that mantra, okay? We cannot have you hurt going into the season, but you're exactly right. Starters will play very little, if at all, in this game. A lot of guys fighting to make the roster because after this game's over, we get down to the 53-man number, and guys will be fighting like mad to be included in it.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Okay, there's a tone setter. First play from scrimmage, stuff them in the backfield.
You know what they were doing last night in the hotel room? Visualizing exactly that. That's what they were thinking about. Making that play, having leverage, lower than the offensive lineman, getting into the offensive backfield, knocking someone down. Just what you said, setting the tone early for this game.
Jeez, you are fired up.
When I see a play like that, I can't help it.
Third and long for Bradford. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And they'll get him down here at the 23. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that's going to make it 4th down.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood what the 3rd down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3-and-out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
Very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. Here come the Bengals now to take over. They'll be led out by the former Texas Christian University Horned Frog, Andy Dalton.
And there's no substitute for experience in this league, and what it usually leads to, a whole lot of confidence. Andy Dalton is sharp with where to go with the football now. I think he sees reads before they actually even happen. He can sense them now, and he is one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL.
A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A great play there. 57 yards. And the Bengals are going to take a first quarter lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
On for the point after is Randy Bullock. They'll need to get the play off quickly. And he's got it to make it 7-0 Bengals. So they hit pay dirt on just one play. The long run, the scamper, and a very nice scamper into the end zone for the touchdown. Bullock out now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, let's see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how the defense reacts. And it may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. Bradford now to throw on first down. Throwing the out route and complete. It's Cook. A really good pickup of 28 yards. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Now a second down throw for Bradford. Now a hit, and the ball comes out. Bradford has lost it, and the Bengals grab it. 20, 10, and he will score. Touchdown, Cincinnati. And give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
Here's Bullock now for the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. J.J. Watt in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DN.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well, and that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
Bradford now under pressure again, and down he goes again. Geno Atkins in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
To throw, Bradford.
Holding offense.
So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now, that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
Here's Bradley Pinion now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. So a short drop, but he's able to get it out, and this is a good kick. Let's take it inside his own 40. How did he stay on his feet? And he is out of bounds inside the 30. It looked like he might beat that last man. He doesn't, though, but it goes as a 32-yard return. And the Bengals will take over in terrific field position. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. Now it's Hunt. And some room to maneuver. Oh, shifty.
Whoa.
18 yards on that one, and the Bengals are moving. First down. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you've said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
He's got it. Touchdown, Bengals.
He was able to move around and found some vision to throw the football. And how about how he ended it? Boy, he had some zip on that throw.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt to have an arm like that. Results in the touchdown here. Great play offensively. Now Bullock to add the extra point. And it is now 21-0. Bullock out now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Cook following the penalty. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Well, forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he was able to hold on to the football.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. They've got it 2nd and 6 to start things out. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Now it's the backup Smith. And some room to work. And now the ball's loose. Smith loses it.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Bengals grab it. And this is taken into the end zone. A fumble recovery and a Cincinnati touchdown. This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit. Here's Bullock now for the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. We look now at Geno Smith. He's the focus. And the Vikings now heading onto the field. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line's just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you've got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe you keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Call it a gain of 5, and it'll be fourth down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
This is brought in at the 21. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. A first throw for the backup Griffin. Flushed out right. There he goes inside the 30. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. RG3, 43 yards. And the Bengals have got it on cruise control. And maybe the defense got so caught up in him throwing the football, they forgot he can take off, too.
And you often hear about the quarterback being the unaccounted for guy as a runner. Well, even on a passing play, he's unaccounted for as a runner, and he turned it into a nice gain.
A very nice run, and it turns into 6 points. It only took him 2 plays there to find the end zone. The last one, the long run, getting him in for 6 points. Bullock out now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. Getting set to go again, Laquan Treadwell marches back out onto the field. You better believe that he's well aware he has 0 catches right now, and they're losing, so he's probably a little hungry.
And you know the guys on defense are aware as well, and they're really excited that he has no catches, but they're also worried because a lot of times that's like the ticking time bomb. The longer you hold him down, when he finally explodes, look out.
Yeah, no catches, though, so far in this game. Now a play fake here on first down, and unable to connect on the long pass. It falls down incomplete. The intended receiver was Laquan Treadwell, and that'll bring up second down.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Give him 2 yards on that play. And all of a sudden here, it's third down. The Vikings on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 8. Throwing on third down, Smith. And that is incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Here's Bradley Pinion now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Fielded just inside the 20. A good return there, 17 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And the 2-minute warning lurking. This will probably be the last play before we hit it.
Yeah, they want to get themselves in position to score in this last shot before the clock hits.
Mixon gets the nod to start the drive. 1:58 to go in this first half of play. More from Minneapolis after this. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Larry Ridley will have the highlights and analysis of this first half from our studios in Orlando.
And I have a feeling those highlights will be pretty one-sided, too.
I think you're right, partner. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Coverage was very good that time. A nice job to smother him as the ball arrived, and that ensured an incomplete pass.
And it keeps 6 points off the board. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. His big tight end, Tyler Eifert, the intended receiver. And it's third down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they had incompletions on first and second down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A great effort there. 54 yards. And the Bengals just continue to pour it on. Now Bullock to add the extra point.
When you know you've got a home run hitter on your side of the ball, and you know that he can score from anywhere on the field, it usually inspires the rest of the guys to do their jobs even better. That resulted in a lot of great blocks downfield because they knew if they gave him space, he could do exactly what he did, put the ball in the end zone.
Bullock out now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. Geno Smith getting ready to go again here on offense. In the second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to...
The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
To throw on second down is Smith. And incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
The Vikings on third down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 17. Now a handoff here to his running back. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Fielded just inside the 30. 12 yards on the return that time. And out will come the offense as they take over. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. He's in a zone, second quarter, already closing in on a 100-yard game.
And that's the magic number for a running back. Anytime you get to that triple digits, that's all you're looking for. But he's got a chance to really exceed that in this one.
Yeah, he does. And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. Cody Core, 59 yards. And the Bengals have got it on cruise control.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. And the route is on here in this first half. And they're able to get the connection on the long touchdown pass. And that's one of the easiest drive summaries you'll ever see. One play, touchdown. Bullock out now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Geno Smith getting ready to go again here on offense. I think this crowd not really sure what to make of things. You know, their guys have not looked very good. Their leader here at the top, he hasn't looked that great either.
And most of the time you hear guys talk about how they don't let the crowd affect them or they block it off. Well, that's not really fully true because a lot of the times you ride the wave of emotion with a crowd when it's positive for you. In this case, they've got to find a way to shake it off and at least get something done to maybe put the crowd back on their side.
Absolutely. Give these guys something to cheer about. And some room to roam now. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here. As they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number one. Now Geno on first down. Incomplete. But not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
Throwing now is Geno. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now third down. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and that just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atoned for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. And now running right through him. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, second down. Again, it's Mixon. And he's got room. Got some room at the 30. That good for 19 and a first down.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
On first down, Griffin. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. On second down, here's Griffin. He's going to let this one go deep. And that's caught inside the 30. So we are halfway through here in the final week of the preseason, as we'll send you down to Orlando as we check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry?
All right, Brandon, we'll see if I can get through this without being skipped as we welcome you to our EA Sports Halftime Report. The Vikings have really struggled out of the gate here. The Bengals have done a good job taking control of this game, and the scoreboard shows as much. So here we go. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. Bengals have the football early in the first. Hunt's able to show off his wheels, and he'll run it in from 57 yards out. Bengals now on top. 1st and 10. Dalton's on point with the throw, and it will be caught for the score, which takes the lead to 21. Bengals have the football midway through the second. Griffin's got a running lane here, and he'll win the sprint to the end zone. The Bengals way out in front. We move late into the second. He'll cut it off the left side this time, and a quick three-play drive ends with a score. Staying late in the half. Griffin's gonna find his mark.
All right, Larry, indeed a one-sided affair to this point as we get set for half two. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm, congratulatory, but also what they were saying is don't expect them to be the same on defense. They'll be the ones making the adjustments. Let's see what they do, and we'll attack accordingly.
And we'll see how they attack here. And he's got some space here. Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. Still shedding tackle. And he will score. Touchdown, Cincinnati. RG3, 40 yards. And the Bengals just continue to pour it on. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns, but the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
So 2 plays on that scoring drive. That's how they drew it up. And the long run into the end zone, and what a run it was. Bullock out now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. This Bengal defense now making their way back out onto the field. And let's roll on these sacks. We've seen quite a few of them.
I've lost track of the number, and maybe...
They go play action here on first down. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
On second down, here's Smith. And his throw is incomplete. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
3rd and long, it's Smith. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by BTDARKWOLF1's.
So it's 3rd and long, and you know this is going to be a pass. So defensively, they're bringing an extra defensive back and just blanket the field. And this is an ill-advised throw right here as it winds up being picked off easily.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. It's a quick turnaround for them after the turnover, but the way they moved it on their last drive, they're probably eager to get right back at it.
And you know me and you know my tendencies in this situation. What do I want right now?
Be aggressive.
Be aggressive. Take your shot right here.
10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down. Throwing now, Griffin on first down. Eluding the pressure right. Wide open receiver complete. Give them 17 at a Cincinnati first down. And quickly, they get to the line. Now they run with Mixon. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. A great play there. Ready for the regular season with his second touchdown of the game. And thanks to the interception, the Bengals offense cashes in with 6. So the second time tonight he has hit the end zone, Charles.
Some people just have a natural nose for the end zone, and he's exhibiting that here in this game. Big-time job, and, of course, he's got to pat the backs of the offensive line.
Yeah, they can't be lost in the shuffle. They're vital. Bullock out now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
Brandon, that play typifies what we've seen from the offense all day long. They've had no success getting things going. I think for the offensive coordinator, he's got to go to that side of the play sheet that says try something different, try some specials, something they haven't seen all day to try and get this offense kick-started.
And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete. Another drive comes and goes, still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. But you just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. Taken from just outside the 30. Wow, evasive.
Make him miss.
Oh, and now he bowls him over. So a change of possession here on the punt. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Robert Griffin III now gears up to lead this offense again. He's been a good game manager. They're winning here in the third quarter, but really the ground game is where it's been at for them, hasn't it?
So whatever the game plan was, you just got to focus on continuing to run the football. And really that takes the pressure off of the guy throwing it around. Doesn't have to be the focal point. Hand it off, let him chew up the yardage in big plays, and your team's winning. The only people upset.
Touchdown, Bengals! He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now, no question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Yeah, what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead. Bullock out now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. And now out comes Minnesota. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. See if they stay on the ground for second down. Possible run anticipation. Here's the D-line sandwiches together. Here's Smith now on second down. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. They'll give him 8 on the play, and they're going to have a third down. The Vikings on third down. It has been a disaster. 0 for 8 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. Now it's Smith. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. This is taken at the 18. Pushing his way through. It's a foot race. And it's a Cincinnati Bengals touchdown.
Well, it certainly feels like that kind of game, doesn't it? No matter what they do, it's going to work. That might be the absolute crusher right there. A punt return for a touchdown.
Feels like there's been a lot of crushers in this game. This lead just gets bigger. Here's Bullock now for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And
I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
And that's another stop for the defense. Something we've seen all game long. They have been on fire today. No matter what's called by the offense, they've had an answer for it.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we played 3 quarters. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the Vikings on third down. Can you believe it? 0 for 9 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. A shotgun snap for Smith, and he's unable to haul it in. So it falls incomplete over the middle third of the field, and that brings up 4th. Another wayward pass. Things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Here's Bradley Pinion now. He's been terrific so far. Fielded at the 20. Slips past him.
Where'd he go?
Nearly a huge return, as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. And Charles, in a very one-sided affair, I think we've reached the point in the broadcast where you and I, we may have some filling to do, right?
Yeah, I think you're right about that because we got to try and keep people around. We don't want them to change the channel. Stay with us in this game. Is that Ben Ramsauer? Are you hearing from Ben on the headset here telling us stretch this thing out a little bit?
Get some talking points. Dig them all out.
That's what you get. A big-time producer. Keep them here.
Play clock winding down. And as he sees the play clock ticking down, Marvin Lewis decides to call a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. They'll start here with a give to Mixon. Able to avoid him at the 40. And he's into the clear. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. A big play there. 56 yards. And the Bengals have got it on cruise control. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. And his kick is right through. Well, I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. 1 play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. Bullock out now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. And now out comes Minnesota. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. To throw on second down, Smith. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And he'll bring this one back to the 29.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent. And now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And they hit the home run last drive. 1 play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run,
and he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. A great effort there. Taking it in. And the Bengals use the short. NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
Well, they got the ball in great field position. 1 play later, boom, end zone. Bullock out now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Geno Smith getting ready to go again here on offense. He's completed 4 passes so far in this game. The issue is 2 of them have been to the guys in the wrong colored jersey.
So I'd say there's a little bit of clouded vision, right? Sometimes he sees clearly, sometimes he doesn't. I know on the sideline they'll be going over things and talk about what the coverages are and what they're seeing. So you used to look at the snapshots. Now you look at the Microsoft Surface Pro. He's got to analyze what he's seeing and be more accurate with the ball.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. He was out there waving his arms saying, throw it here, dropped it, not a good look.
Well, all I can do is just look at him with contempt on that one. As a defensive back, I'm saying, not as an announcer. Just like, really?
A little bit of a diva look, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so, because I think what happens is he just had too much time to think. He's wide open now. Here comes the ball, and he doesn't concentrate and drops it.
It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run, because we envision them in offenses, catch the ball. How much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup. Geno now to throw. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and it'll make it 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll be 3rd down. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've been stymied left and right, converted only one time. This is 3rd and 4. Now Geno. That's caught by Treadwell. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
Throwing is Smith. Room here to run. A solid gain of 15 yards, and the sticks move. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. Now a first down throw. It's Smith. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. Nothing on that one. It'll be 2nd down. Now, they couldn't get anything going there out on the right side of the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. Shift together here from the D-line. Smith to throw on 2nd down. And that is incomplete here.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
Now Smith on 3rd down. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off at the 17, the 40, the 30, 10, and he will score. Touchdown, Cincinnati. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Oh, how about this? No good. Just his 2nd miss of the year, and our score will stay right where it is. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. This is taken about 7 yards deep, and they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. On 1st down, Smith. His throw incomplete.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
And this is going to be incomplete.
So this is what happens when you throw interceptions. That confident veneer that you have gets chipped away a little bit. Maybe a little bit gun-shy throwing it around.
Yeah, underthrowing him there, and you're right. Those interceptions may be in the back of his mind. On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Taken in at the 22. They juked him. Gets through, and now an opening. It's a nifty return of 29 yards. And the Bengals will take over in terrific field position. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. They have the big cushion. Here in the final stages of this one, I don't know if there's any better feeling than being up big on the road.
There really can't be, because for a team to go on the road and win in the NFL, that's huge to begin with. But just think about all the preparation that went into it. When they first started talking about this game, leading up to it during the week, going on the road, unfamiliar city, obviously, unfamiliar hotel. No one's going to be with you once you get to the stadium. They're all going to...
And now off to the races down the right side. And he will score. Touchdown, Cincinnati. RG3, 39 yards. And the Bengals just continue to pour it on. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Bullock out now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. Smith on first down. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Wallace Gilberry in there to get him for his second sack of the night.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Looking to throw on second down. Smith. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. One last throw here for Smith. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. So, Charles, are able to complete what so often seems to be elusive, a shutout in the NFL. And maybe what's fitting is they ended the game on the field, that defensive unit on the field. What an exclamation mark.
And probably felt like they could go another 60 minutes without anyone putting points on the board against them. That's the confidence you gain throughout when you're pitching a shutout. And they're going to leave the stadium feeling like they're all 10 feet tall.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. From Minneapolis, good night, everybody.